All right, here we go. It is episode 98 of a brand new Odgies podcast. Jason Martinez, Harry Mays, and pre-show, Harry and I doing research on the coaching career of one Paul Maurice. Harry, you didn't have that on your weekly bingo card of things to Google.
No, I didn't till last night watching that Game 7. It was cool that we got a Game 7 and in one of the indoor sports playoffs, finals. It was pretty cool. I watched it from start to finish, and it's just, say what you want about hockey, and I know it's not everybody's favorite sport. It's down the ladder a little bit for most people, and I get that. But man, there's something cool about that freaking trophy, man, and how much it means to those guys, knowing that they're going to have their name on that thing forever. It's just to see these grown men, that they've been battling. How long's the hockey season? It starts in like September, October with preseason.
It covered all four seasons, Harry.
Yeah, they're going into the end of June here, just working their bag off.
Yeah.
And to see how much it means to them to finally win that trophy. And that coach has been around forever. And it's been, we were looking at all the different places he's been, and he talked about it at post game, 30 years that he's been, moving around the country, moving his family, and just trying to get that trophy, and he finally gets it. And it's just kind of cool to see that. That's why I watch sports.
Yeah.
For moments like that.
Yeah. A guy who earned it and worked his ass off. I mean, spent 9 years in the peg, Harry. Did you survive 9 years in that gulag of the peg?
No, I don't know if I could survive 9 days in the peg.
Yeah, 9 hours.
9 years. No.
Yeah. I don't know that you could survive a layover in the peg, Harry. You get buckled in that bar.
Yeah, I would. Yes, I would. Yeah.
But yeah, congrats to the Florida Panthers on winning the cup. Another team wins their first cup ever. They were in the cup final in '96. I don't know if you recall that.
Oh yeah.
With John Van Beesbrook, Harry, between the pipes.
Right. That was shortly after they became a franchise.
Yeah. And Scott Mellenby was on that team. That's if you wonder why the rats are all over the ice. Scott Mellenby killed a rat in the old building.
In the old arena, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what the rat symbolized. That's why people throw the rubber rats on the ice.
Mm-hmm.
And, that team, Harry, they go up 3-0 in the cup final after losing in the final last year.
To Vegas.
Then all of a sudden, Edmonton comes barnstorming back to force that Game 7. I didn't see a way where Florida could win that game last night. I thought there was just so much momentum on the side of Edmonton, but Jesus, they got it done.
Yeah, but you could tell right from the jump though that they were up on their skates, and that's what I was watching to see, because how they'd come out in that first 5 minutes, and they looked really aggressive, and then they got the first goal, which is really important. And I know
tip.
Edmonton tied it up shortly thereafter and they had so many rushes, Edmonton, in that series. That team, they can hit you hard and fast.
Yeah. And Florida's got some of the best defensive zone structure of any team. And in Game 6, they bottled up McDavid. He didn't even have a shot on goal.
Yeah, he didn't do squat last night either. Neither did Draisaitl.
Yeah, Draisaitl really struggled in the final.
Yeah.
But McDavid, he was out there. McDavid and Draisaitl in the second half of that game were out pretty much the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
At the end, they just looked like, with Hyman, they just looked gassed.
Yep.
But geez, man, a 7-game final like that was just awesome. And I agree with you. Like I was watching the interviews after, and I know Emily Kaplan asked some really inane fucking questions.
You just love to bust on her.
Well, it's just ESPN in general. I really wish
Steve Levy is great.
He is.
Steve Levy is one of the best talking heads in sports, if you ask me. That guy's awesome.
Yeah.
And he's been at ESPN forever. He's one of the good guys up there. Him and Van Pelt, and I like what's his name? Ravitch. Carl Ravitch. There's a couple of guys that have been there forever, and they're good guys.
Yeah, they obviously have some really good talent, but their presentation as compared to TNT's is inferior.
Although I like PK Subban. I think he's good.
Very outspoken.
He's
He'll
good.
tell you something. Yeah, he is a guy that would fit on the TNT panel as well.
Yeah.
Messier, great player.
Oh.
What a stick in the mud as a broadcaster.
Yeah, he's not very good at that.
He's a lunkhead, isn't he? But I mean, he looks like he could still
looks
play.
like he could kick people's ass, though, man. That
Yeah,
guy,
he could. He probably still
looks
play.
like he could play.
Yeah, he'd give you 60 games in a season,
I
Harry.
bet he
Point per
could,
game.
yeah.
But yeah, seeing those guys try to answer questions about what it's like to win the cup after, like a lot of those guys have never touched it
Yeah, well, yeah.
until then.
You can't.
Yeah, you stay away. As a player in the sport, you're taught not to touch it until you earn it.
Right, right. And they did that whole thing. Who's the guy that carries it around all the time with the long hair?
Philip
What's his
Pritchard,
name?
the
Pritchard.
keeper of the cup, Phil Pritchard. Yeah,
Did you see the thing they did with all his gloves?
yeah,
I mean, he's
yeah.
got every pair of white gloves that he's ever worn to carry around the cup, and he keeps them in plastic bags and has them like dated and what team.
Yep.
You know, man,
Yeah,
like a rat. This guy.
well, he works for the Hockey Hall of Fame, so he archives everything.
Okay.
Like his blazer that he wears, his sport coat's got a Hockey Hall of Fame patch on it. That's like I guess technically his employer, the NHL.
Oh, okay. I
And the
didn't
Hockey
know
Hall
that.
of Fame in Toronto.
I thought he worked for the league.
Yeah, he does. But yeah, it's the branch of the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, that hockey hair he's got is
Oh,
never.
man.
I mean, he's got a
unbelievable.
salad on him, doesn't
And
he? Harry?
he's had that forever because I remember that guy back in like the 90s and stuff.
Yep.
You know,
Oh my God.
salad. Have you ever been to the Hockey Hall of Fame?
I have. We went
Yeah?
up. We went up a couple of years ago with the family. We met my buddy who lives in Pittsburgh and his wife and kids up in Niagara Falls, and we stayed we were on the Canadian side in Ontario. And one of the days, we drove into Toronto, Evan and I, and we went to the Hockey Hall. And it's like in a mall.
Oh, yeah?
It's like going to King of Prussia Mall, and then you jump in. You got Spencer's Gifts, Harry, and then and Annie Ann's, and then the Hockey Hall. A Sparrow on the other side.
Sabaro? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you know all the
Sure.
food at the mall, at the food
Yeah.
court. And then you got the Hockey Hall. We went in
I mean,
there. And,
Well,
awesome.
It should have like a cool building to itself, like something old.
yeah, it is actually a really old building that
Oh, it
kind
is?
of looks like it's
okay.
really cool. Yeah, 91 LSX says Orange Julius.
Yes.
Yeah, got an Orange Julius with
And then an
anti-aids.
arcade right next to it.
Yes, play a little Gallagher.
Gallagher. I knew it. I knew it.
But yeah, it's the Hockey Hall is really cool. They have this one room that's set up like a locker room,
Yeah.
and they have all old equipment in there of guys like legends, like Patrick Waugh's goalie set from '93 is in there,
Yeah.
and then it's really the Hall of Fames are great to go to because there's so much history in there.
Yeah.
But we're done with the winter sports now, Harry.
Yep. Well, now they got the drafts this week, right? We had NBA's Thursday and the hockey's Friday.
Friday, Friday,
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah.
To jump right into it. I mean, what do you think about like a winter sport ending its season on June 24th? They literally they start the season in October in the fall, played
Yeah.
all through winter, played all through spring with the playoffs, and actually dipped into actual summer.
Yeah. I like it.
You, 'cause you don't
I
like
like
any
it.
time without it.
I don't like any time off. No, like in July is the only month. Like that's because nothing happens except baseball in July.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
it.
you have this.
And they
thing-
even take off because they got the All-Star break. So they even take a couple of days there where there's no baseball. That's
Yeah.
the worst.
which seems ill-timed to me.
That's the worst.
They should take off a week at the end of August or beginning of September to
Give 'em a
to
little
recharge
juice
for
the
yeah.
playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
And plus, then you at least have preseason football to discuss.
yeah, preseason
Taking off
football.
once all the other preseason football's hype.
blow.
Yeah, it's all hype, no
It's
substance.
terrible.
Yeah. Every
Yeah,
year,
yeah.
like, oh my God, the preseason's starting. This is great.
Yeah.
Football's back. Yeah.
It
You watch
sucks.
2 snaps and you're like, dude, I've had enough of this.
This blows.
But it just means it's a harbinger of things to come. It means
Yeah,
that the
yeah,
real
that's
season's around the corner.
That's it.
Um,
But
yeah.
but I always thought that the NBA and the NHL, the NHL should try to find a way to shift its season so it could have more time without the NBA going up against it.
Yeah.
You know
How
what I
do you
mean?
do?
I don't know.
I mean, I think the NHL should start October 1st, so they don't finish on the 24th. Like the cup should be handed out by Memorial Day.
Oh yeah.
And so if the NHL started on October 1st and the NBA started November 15th, like the NBA could start on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Problem is that's a football day, but
Right.
or December 1st, and the NBA could go to the end of July.
Yeah. Like it did in COVID when it came back in the bubble
Yeah.
in August, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then the NHL playoffs would be standalone for those 2 months
Yeah.
and handed out by May, and then the NBA playoffs would start like very beginning of June. But the problem is the NBA doesn't want to do that because then they dip into the summer where ratings aren't as high.
Right.
So
The seasons are too freaking long for both of them.
I would agree with that.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, look at the
We
NBA.
don't need 82 games of the NBA and the NHL.
In
really
the
don't.
NHL, at least the guys fucking play them.
Well, yeah, I know.
In the NBA, I mean, load management, all this bullshit.
Yeah,
Like, they
but
gotta
do you
figure
really,
that out.
Do you really need 82 regular season hockey games? I mean, the playoffs is its own season, and that's all that anybody watches.
Yeah. Well,
You know?
the thing is they want the gate because they got to pay a guy like James Harden $36 million to not win and then jump around to a new team.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's gate revenue, Harry.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember how we used to look forward to the NBA draft because the
No.
Sixers were always drafting really high.
Well, that was the big thing with them. It wasn't
Yeah.
about the season. The Sixers season was draft week
Right, right.
for 6 years.
Now we don't even care.
Yeah. And, they're going to draft Nerlens Noel, you know.
You just go back and look at those names like that this week, Thursday night. Like I'll watch some of it because it's what I do. But I'll go back and look at all those names of the draft picks that they took during the process
Yeah.
and how all of them just fizzled out, except really Embiid, right?
Yeah.
I mean, who else?
well, Markelle Fultz, what's
He
he doing these
stinks.
days? Yeah.
he
Not,
stinks.
not worthy of a number one pick, certainly.
He's playing for Orlando, but he stinks.
Yeah.
You know, Ben Simmons is still on a roster. He doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
You know, what's his say? What was the big guy they got out of Duke, and they picked him right when the NBA was changing, where you had to be like a stretch four, and they
Yeah.
took the big fat guy out of
Jaleel
Duke.
Okafor, Harry.
Okafor, yes,
They took him
Remember
third
that?
overall. Yeah. Okafor would have been fine if we were 1988,
Right. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And the year prior to that is the year they took Embiid in 2014, 10 years
Now,
ago.
I noticed you're going in and out here with your feed. Did you upgrade any of your equipment since the last debacle?
No, my feed on my end looks good.
Yeah, but I'm hearing it. It's not. It's like checking out.
Oh, really?
So you did not upgrade the equipment.
I have not upgraded anything, Harry.
When is that happening?
In due time.
If-
I just changed my audio level a little bit there. Maybe
I
that
mean
was an issue.
the hockey season starts for you again in September, right?
Yeah,
There's
mid
not
to
much
late
time
September.
off,
Yeah. Nah, we got the countdown clock on it, Harry.
so you'll have to
All right.
get an upgrade before the season starts, right?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna have to come up with something. The Flyers
Oh.
preseason, Harry, starts in 107 days. Coming up.
Is
on
that
it.
right?
Or no, wait, that's
So-
the regular season. Preseason, Harry. They released the schedule as 89 days, September 22nd.
Wow, so less than 3 months, and you're already back at the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I've already been off for 2 months, so 2.5 months. I'm done. I've had enough.
Remember this Cherokee Parks? Remember him?
Yeah,
He played
at
at
Dookie
Duke.
too, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I was at a bachelor party by accident in North Carolina, in Raleigh, at a strip joint, the Dollhouse. I used to frequent that place back in the day.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of Duke players in there, and I think it was Cherokee Parks's bachelor party. And I go into the restroom, men's room, and here there's like 3 urinals, and I had no other place to go except the middle urinal. And to my right was Cherokee Parks, all like 6'11", whatever. He was a real tall dude, banged up as hell, smashed, right?
Buckled.
And then on the left was Hill.
Grant Hill?
Yeah. Yeah. He was banged up.
Crazy.
I hate having to go in the middle stall. That's
especially with
that.
two towers around you.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
There's one guy's 6'8", the other guy's 6'11", and
You
here
feel
comes
so
little old me.
inferior.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking back at the Sixers draft picks, Harry. Go back 20 years to 04. 9th overall. Iguodala.
Correct.
Then
now he was a good player. He was a really good player. He just wasn't a number one, and that's what we all expected him to be here. And but he was a really good 3 guy, like your third guy.
Played 1,231 games.
He played a lot of games, man.
The next year they didn't have a first round pick. They had one pick in the second round. That was Lou Williams. Played 1,123.
Now that guy had a great career. He was a great sixth man. He won the Sixth Man of the Year award a few times, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, and they took him out of high school. He went to a high school out of near Atlanta is where he came out of. Yeah, he was a good player.
06, 13th overall, Harry. Do you remember who they took that year? Great Tom Byrne name.
Oh, boy. No, I don't know. Thabo Cephalosha.
Da.
Is that right?
Yes.
Did I get that right?
You got that right.
Thabo Cephalosha.
Yep, that's a great name. The next year in 07, they take Thad Young.
Thad Young. Now, he's another guy who had a long career. He might still be in the league.
Yeah, he is, actually. 1,172 games.
Who's he playing for? Toronto? Where's he at?
I'm not even sure where he is now.
But he's he was a decent player. It's just like, we always expected these guys to be superstars.
Yeah.
When you're taking them in the top 10, and none of those guys are superstars. That those were all good players.
In
Role
08,
players.
They took Mo Spates. We say
Maurice
Mo.
Spates. Yeah.
17th pick out of UCLA in 2009 was Drew Holiday.
Here you go. Drew Holiday. Now look at that. He just won himself a championship.
Yep.
Yeah.
In 10 out of the from the Ohio State University, Harry, with the number 2 overall.
Turner.
Evan Turner.
What a goofball he was.
Yep.
He was a weird cat.
2011 from USC, Nick Vucevic.
Yeah,
who then flipped to Orlando.
He was a decent player too, but Doug Collins hated him.
Yep.
And they got rid of him, and he goes to Orlando and has had a nice career.
Very nice. 2012 was Maurice Harkless out of St. John's.
Mo Harkless from St. John's.
Yep.
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
2013
this is when it started to go bad.
This is the process. Yeah, Michael Carter Williams, 11th
MCW.
And Glenn Rice out of Georgia.
Yeah, Glenn Rice the third, right?
Yeah, it was a third. That, and the third.
That, and the third.
And then here's the process. You see NBA draft. They drafted, 7 players in 2014.
Right.
Embiid, they got in that draft.
Right.
Elfrid Payton, KJ McDaniels, Jeremy Grant, Russ Smith, Micic, and some other guy that never played in the NBA. I can't.
Some guy from Lithuania or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a Euro stash, Harry, remember?
Yeah, the Euro stash. Yeah, they had all these second-round picks, remember?
Yep. Then they took Okafor the next year, 3rd overall. How'd that work out? And then they took 16 Simmons, number 1 overall, and Furkan Korkmaz. Yeah.
Now, who else was in that draft with Okafor? Who else was taken around there? Wasn't that the one where Porzingis? Isn't that the Porzingis draft?
I think that's the Porzingis draft, and he was taken 4th.
Right, and he went. Yes, I think that's right. Yeah.
That was Okafor, Herman Gomez, or I don't even know that guy's. Rashawn Williams for the Sixers.
Mm-hmm.
TLC, remember Timothy
Luwawu Cabarrot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they move up to 1. They take Fultz, Jonah Bolden. Oh, jeez. And then 2018, they took Mikal Bridges and traded him.
Yeah, that was stupid. That was
Bad
Brett
move.
Brown. What a moron. He trades Bridges for a guy who was 6'4" and played like power forward at Texas Tech. And he's only 6'4". What do you think he was going to be, the next Charles Barkley? Are you kidding me?
It doesn't work at that size.
Zaire. Wasn't it Zaire something?
Yep.
Because I remember Brett going, Zaire. Remember?
Zaire. Then Ty Jerome was her first round pick in 19. Tyrese Maxey in 2020 was taken 21st overall. Yeah.
Ty Jerome.
Yeah.
Who was that? He didn't go to Seton Hall, did he?
Virginia.
Oh, Virginia. Okay.
Yeah, he's only taken played 159 games in the NBA.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Yeah, there's your draft picks of the process.
Yeah. Now, did I send you the? I didn't send. I sent you something this week, but did I send you the Hawk Tua girl?
Oh, you didn't need to send it to me, Harry. It's all over the internet, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I watched it. Probably, it must have been Saturday morning or Sunday morning. I think for about an hour straight.
You hooked on the Hawk Tua girl?
And my wife was like, "What is wrong with you? Like you're obsessed with this." And I was just laughing my ass off. And then I found the memes, the one with Trump in it, which cracked me up, where he's like, "I'm gonna come."
Yeah.
Freaking
Yeah.
hilarious. And
I thought Hawk Tua was a player on Oklahoma, Harry.
Right. But then they had a guy singing the Alleluia song to Hawk Tua.
Oh my God. Doing the old Leonard Cohen, Hallelujah.
Yes. Yeah, Leonard Cohen. Correct. Good pull there.
Wow.
I couldn't get enough of it.
Yeah, that was the meme of the week with this thing just going viral. Like for 2 days, you couldn't see anything else on social media.
I know.
It was all Hawk Tua this and Hawk Tua that.
Now, I don't know what's true and what's not true anymore, but I had heard that she might have been a school teacher and got fired.
I saw that. I don't know how true that is.
I don't know what's true and what's not anymore.
No, you don't. You don't know.
And then I heard that her dad was a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't even know if that's true.
Yeah.
Because of course, that would be the ultimate, thing
for
where
the Holy Family.
Your dad's a pastor, and here you are talking about spitting on a guy's member.
Yeah. Unbelievable. The things that go viral nowadays are just.
It's like how did that video? I don't even know who the guy was interviewing her, and if were they from some show? Was it sort of like a Preston and Steve kind of thing?
Like Man on the Street bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was Casey Boy. Was that Casey Boy doing the interview, Harry?
No, it wasn't. I didn't recognize this guy. But, oh, that's not true. Yeah, well, I don't know what's true and what's not. That's what I said. So in other words, her father wasn't a pastor?
Or she wasn't a school teacher? I don't know.
I don't think any of it's true.
Frankly, it doesn't even matter.
No, I know.
Yeah. Like the meme of the week before that was the Oilers girl.
Well, didn't Playboy or somebody reach out to her?
Yeah, she was. I saw
Playboy. Great cans.
Oh, she did.
I mean, tremendous.
Yeah.
I watched that for about an hour and a half straight too.
Yeah. She just whipped those puppies out.
Oh man! I mean, they came out with ferocity.
Oh yeah. Like those things were out there and loving it too.
Like she has done that many times before. Is my point.
Oh yeah.
With the way that she pulled the sweater up.
Oh, she had great form, Harry.
Yeah, she really did.
She looked like Dave Brown pulling the jersey over somebody's head back in the day. Old Brownie.
With the jerseys without the straps on them.
Oh, yeah, they didn't have straps back then, Harry. No. They had quick-release jerseys like the NBA pants.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah, she was an absolute bomb.
91 LSX. This is terrific. Yawn. Wake me up when she's in Club Magazine.
Oh, jeez. What about We?
High Society.
Yeah.
I was a big High Society guy.
Yeah. Playboy? Nah, not good enough.
Dude, I graduated from Playboy in the 6th grade.
Yeah, you went right to Hustler,
went right to Penthouse. I was right on the Penthouse train.
Yeah. Well, the flow chart was Playboy to Penthouse Letters to Hustler.
Oh, the letters. Yeah, the form.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Let's tell the people, Harry, I'm sure they want to be really close to this segment, about the Great Fudge Kitchen. I'm going down the shore next week. I'll be a little back and forth with the draft and free agency and prospect camp, but yeah.
Okay, the official sponsor of Not For Long Media and the Odgies podcast is the Original Fudge Kitchen. You know I'm a staple down at the Jersey Shore. 6 locations. They're banging right now. Cape May, Wildwood, Stone Harbor, Ocean City. They make all their fudge and treats right in the store, so it guarantees a delicious product. Stop by and tell them that we sent you. And Pharrell, the Odgies guys. But if you're not able to make it in person, they'll ship the stuff right to you. So just check out the website, fudgekitchens.com, and get yourself some.
Absolutely beautiful. Yeah. It's a short episode today because you have yet another dental appointment, is it, Harry?
Well, yeah,
or are you using the word dental appointment in
No.
place of tea time?
No, not today. No,
You're not golfing today?
No, not today. Tomorrow.
Ah, jeez.
Yeah,
Why not?
I went to the simulator yesterday, and I'll play tomorrow. Not today.
Okay.
I got other stuff to do. I see people that like just think that I sit around here and do nothing and play golf. It takes a lot of work to put the stuff that I do together.
Yeah, a lot of times people go, well, like when we did the radio show, people go, hey,
Yeah.
you talk sports for 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's not a hard job. No, but there's a lot of preparation that goes into that.
Right.
4
That's
hours.
the
You
job.
can't just show up. Yeah.
Right.
The job is the other 20 hours of the day.
Right.
Where you're constantly texting links and did you see this? Did you see that?
Yep.
A real pain in the ass.
Yep.
All right, well, go to your dental appointment, Harry. Enjoy that.
Yeah, great.
We'll have a more lengthy episode at some point here coming up in the next week or so. So, everybody, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time on the Odgies podcast.